Hey, welcome to ONV Respect the Game podcast. Welcome, everyone. It's glad to be back. I'm glad we're here in the set. Before we get started, I want to say a quick prayer to get us going. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you once again for allowing us to come into your place to give the community some positive feedback. Dear Heavenly Father, just keep us in your hands and make sure we're doing the things that you want us to do to glorify your name. And Father, all these blessings in your name, we're gonna say amen.
Amen.
Hey, before we get started, I just want to say I want to give a shout out to JJ Foster and Bruce Stevenson. Um, they moved on, and I just want to say keep doing what you're doing because now you're just going to make our sports program even bigger and broader. So kudos to both of you guys. And
Can you give me a little insight?
then I want to say what's going on to the new Respect the Game podcast. We got some new and young prospect going to come up and take over and do the thing they want to do to make us a better group. And still, we got our uh, rebound queen,
Coach Tay.
Coach Tay. So we're going to let you guys introduce yourself real quick.
Um, I'm Coach Tay. Obviously, I've been on the set for some time now. What I play basketball at Indiana Tech. Coached there as well, and also coached younger children, middle school, high school, a little bit of everything, skills training, all that stuff. So, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan, actually, but I love being in the sports, you know, and just being here.
I'm Coach Des. It's great to be here. I'm excited to be here and get things going. My name is Destiny Jackson. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I went to high school at Northrop, and then I graduated from Snyder. I went to Snyder for 1 year. I graduated in 2021. I went to Loyola, Chicago, where I played there for 4 years. And now recently I just came back to the city over the summer. I teach and I coach at Snyder. I also coach at Blackhawk. I'm also getting into coaching AAU. And
Just
I
coach
have-
everywhere.
I just coach, yeah. I coach
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
But no, I'm super grateful to be here and just gaining new connections and networking and striving to make the city better just one day at a time. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fine.
cool. And we have another young person here. He's not here today.
That brings us to our topic.
Yes.
Let me stop.
um, E. Parker, Coach Parker, and he will be on the next set, and we cannot wait till he get here and be a part of this
Definitely.
tremendous team.
Most definitely.
And tonight, before we get to our topics, how did y'all college teams play out?
So I would say that I did two brackets and both of my teams won. I picked Michigan for the guys to win, and I picked UCLA and South Carolina, for the girls. And literally UCLA won, which I was actually like on the fence about one of those teams winning anyway.
So you wasn't gonna lose.
I wasn't gonna lose. I was born a winner. Look.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first year, and it's crazy. This is the first year I'm out of college, like not playing basketball anymore. I actually did not make a bracket.
Wow, you don't
Yeah,
care about
I-
college sports no more. She all about the youth. I love it.
You know, but I wasn't locked in. I wasn't watching games. I was like, this is
Busy.
like very new for me.
Yeah.
I'm working out middle schoolers or
I
like
know.
high schoolers.
Yeah.
I wasn't even. So this is the first year I actually didn't even make a bracket.
None of the kids was talking about it.
I mean, they were, but like
Okay.
I was like, yeah, I got a workout to go to in
Yeah.
about 30 minutes. So.
Okay.
So Michigan, I picked Michigan.
You did?
Yeah, because it's Big Ten.
Okay.
My guys wasn't there. You know who my guys are.
Yeah, IU.
IU.
I thought they was a basketball school, but some odd
That
reason
net-
they
that
they
natty.
played
That
football
natty.
and won
That
this year.
natty.
What a tremendous turnout! No, that's
So we're gonna. I just want to throw that out there real quick and
wrapping up college. sports.
wrapping up college, wrapping up high school. Want to give a shout out to New Haven High School for getting that runner up
Absolutely.
at state.
That's what's up.
We're gonna try to get you guys over here.
Definitely
to
need them on the set.
Yeah. Try to get you some pub because you guys well deserve it. I think you guys did an awesome job and you represented the community well. So
Absolutely.
shout out to New Haven.
Absolutely.
Hey, so let's get to our topics today, and it's about what?
Priorities.
Priorities.
What is your priorities, man?
What is
When
your
it-
priority?
That's we talking to y'all. Make sure y'all can make a list on that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So I would definitely say if your habits don't match your goals don't matter. And that's what it comes down to when breaking down, your priorities. So
100%. One thing that's like huge on priorities, I feel like we don't talk about enough, and we should, especially as it applies to youth, is sacrificing, right? Like there are so many things that we are going to sacrifice and need to sacrifice in order for us to be great. And sometimes things don't seem like sacrifices, but
So I guess would you give me an example of what would you consider sacrifice for an athlete in middle school, I guess?
for sure. That's actually a really good one. So I was just thinking about this the other day. I was talking to a couple of my middle school girls, and granted, like when you're in middle school, things are just like, I don't know about y'all, but like I don't really remember middle school.
happened then?
Yeah, like it's not
Eh,
nothing really happened that's like, oh, I had to do this, or it was just like I was in middle school just like everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was talking to them the other day about it, and one thing that they kept bringing up was like
Recess.
going to different
That's what I remember.
not recess, but going to like different like sporting events. So going to like a
okay.
track meet or going to a football game or going to, and I told them straight up, I'm like, y'all, like the times that some of these games or events are happening, sometimes like you gonna have to decide, like, do I need to go get this workout in or do I need to go to a football game?
So that was a big thing for the kids. You seen them going to all the events. Like,
Absolutely. And I was telling them like,
it's like a way to hang out or something.
for sure, and it's like a social thing, but I think it's a balanced thing as well. Like one thing that I talk about them big time is like when it comes to sacrificing something, you're going to have to miss certain things for your own development. That's just what it is.
So in the sports area, that that's where we are. What is some of the sacrifice that we don't see happen
Enough.
with our youth, and what they should be more focusing on?
Don't see enough
That's a good one.
sacrificing, like not going out to the parties or the
Yeah.
games and stuff like that. I thought.
Well, more on the field, like.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah, give me an example, I guess,
Okay,
because
so
fill
my,
me in.
my thing is that what I'm seeing, being in the middle school coaching, that it's more of a free for all, not really learning the game, not wanting to learn the game.
Oh,
to
100%.
be
100%. 100%.
Okay. So what is that sacrifice?
I see what you mean now. I think like
Well, okay,
you
explain
mean
to
like
me.
in timing. So like it's not about learning the game, it's just about playing it, right? And it's not like you'll see people like this laptop era. Ooh, don't even get started.
Laptop
But
era.
you'll see them like watching highlights. You don't see them watching a basketball game.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of
How to get better.
Yeah,
quick fixes.
yeah, like it's just kind of like I'm
I don't even
gonna
think they
go
want
watch.
a quick fix.
Well,
I
but
just
that's
think they
what-
want to be out there.
Yeah, I'm about to watch LeBron, and
What-
that's it.
Well,
So I'm thinking of like reels, like you think of Instagram, you think of all these little platforms like YouTube Quicks or whatever they call it. Those real quicks, they showing boom, boom. Oh, he
Yeah.
crossed them. I'm about to go
Yeah,
try to do
yeah.
that. Like,
and it's not really
and
like
he can't even dribble.
yeah,
can't
but
even
it's also
dribble.
like not breaking it down, right? Like
Yeah.
I've noticed that even at the high school level, like a lot of our girls, like this isn't just like at one place, but this is just overall. A lot of young girls don't watch basketball.
so that's a sacrifice that they would have to take.
A-
Give up something else to
absolutely.
study.
Yeah,
the
that
game.
you actually have to. When it comes to basketball, you have to study it. And
If you want to be great.
But that's where that whole I'm talented come in at.
yeah,
I'm saying
How many talented ones do we have, though? I mean, that really.
they all think they talented.
Well,
That's the problem.
No, I'm just saying that
Uh-huh.
like how many do we have that we could say
Hey,
they the real deal?
for sure.
Yeah.
I think
on the team, on average, you probably got one or two guys
One or two guys.
that you could be like,
But the
he
rest
don't
of-
got to work as hard as y'all, but he need to
But
work.
he
as
is
yeah.
working hard.
And the reason why he's working hard is because that's the one that probably studies the game. That's the one that actually, like, when it comes to the best players, I've seen whether it be the middle school level and the high school level and even college level for all that's concerned, those are the people that study the game. They actually watch basketball.
Okay.
And you can watch it at any level. The only thing that changes is the speed, the skill, the strength. But you can watch basketball at any level and learn.
So, once again, our young people, how do we fix it? How do we fix it for them to understand there's priorities that they have to go and do?
I think it starts with like call outs, like we could be sitting watching the game, pre-gaming before our game. What they doing on their phones in the bleachers?
TikTok.
Like now you could be like, "Hey, did you see what just happened on that last
Y'all,
play?"
they
Like
be
it's the
making
coaches.
TikToks.
Some of the coaches is on their phones too, outside talking on the phone. They not engaged with their players, And I feel like it starts there. For somebody else to call out, like we was watching him the last game. Now we know what he do. He always do that drop hook. You know how to guard that. You can give him some pointers for the next game or whatever the case is.
I think that's huge. I'm very, very grateful and just very, very blessed for the position I'm in with being at Blackhawk and Snyder, because a lot of times, like how my day would go during the season was like I'd be at Snyder all day teaching, then I go over to Blackhawk, go to their practice, and then go right back to Snyder for their practice. And one thing that we used to often do as well is like if we have a game, especially during the week, I would go to practice at Blackhawk and then go to the game for Snyder. I would see my girls at the game.
Yeah.
And when I say like I'm grateful
Now,
to
was
be in
this
that
something
position,
that you made them do?
it wasn't something that at first we were just like, hey guys, like if y'all want to come to the game, let us know. Like we'll get you on there just so y'all can be around the locker room. But then it's like, okay, a couple came, but then a couple more came. Then the whole team start coming, and I think that's something that, again, that creates community. But it's also a thing where it's like these situations and scenarios, like they see it. They see basketball being played.
Yeah.
So if I bring something to practice and be like, y'all remember, okay, last week y'all was here at the game. Y'all remember when this play happened and then this person went back door? And they're like, oh yeah, wait, no, like we do
They
remember that. And then I
understand
pull
it
it
a
up.
little more.
Now they're understanding it because they actually see
Seen
it.
it.
So
yeah.
some of the things that I seen, from Snyder and Blackhawk girls, that they put it on the floor. They mimic it.
Absolutely.
They went out there
Absolutely.
and started playing
Like
different.
that.
From day one to the end.
Absolutely.
'Cause,
From watching.
from being around,
Yeah.
Just being around.
being
like
a part of.
You're and that's why like when we talk about like culture
product of your environment.
and culture is so important. If your environment is whack, you're gonna be whack.
Whack.
But if
Yeah.
your environment is positive and it's uplifting and it's energetic, that's what it's gonna be. And that's something that has to be prioritized. It was multiple times. Them girls went to basketball games during the week on a random Wednesday. They went to a basketball game, but they had to sacrifice something to go to that.
That'd be interesting to know what they would sacrifice.
But even if it's like sleep, y'all
Oh.
know y'all probably gonna get home to like 10 o'clock tonight from this game during
I
the
still
week.
got
And I still
homework.
got home.
Whatever.
But you
Crazy.
sacrifice something to be here because it's important to you.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things, like you said, the home life, and they was talking about priorities, making sure you're eating right, making
sure,
you
for
getting
sure.
sleep, making
sure.
sure you're doing the things you're supposed to do
Come from the-
outside of outside of sports, period,
Absolutely.
to where you could get that opportunity to go. Because if you don't do the things you're supposed to be doing as chores or responsibility,
Yeah, I think kids
100%.
can look up, like you can look up, like y'all are on your phones anyways, you can look up how athletes train at this level or how they eat,
Yeah, for
and what
sure.
things they got to keep track of, because
sure.
you can easily get disfocused by following, some trend or something like that. But
And I think priorities like are habits, but habits take discipline. So I think like teaching that at an early age, I feel like it really helps them get better. Like one thing that I used to do with
habits take discipline. I love
they
that.
do. And like one thing I used to do with some of my girls, like I'm big on like I used to tell them as much as y'all work out and train your bodies, y'all should be doing the same thing with your minds. So if that's reading a book, if that's
Mental.
journaling, so I literally would get on FaceTime with some of my girls. It would be a group FaceTime call. We called it the book club.
The
And
book club.
you literally like you went to Blackhawk, you joined the call at 9:00 and we reading from 9:00 to 9:30. We just set up our phones and everybody got a book. And
who does that?
you don't come to the book
Yeah.
club unless if you don't have a book, we kick you out. Like you ain't got a book, you kicked out the group. We ain't doing
Who
that.
does
So we
that?
end
Girls
your
get to
call.
come
You don't
watch.
come back unless you get a book. And after that, we take about 5 to 10 minutes for us to all just share briefly like what we read.
Well,
Love it.
How y'all doing this? This is like through a social media
It's
platform?
just FaceTime.
Oh, just
Yeah,
FaceTime.
just get on
Okay.
FaceTime. You can
That's what's
have a group call. Boom, you click it. Book club coming on at 9:00. Let's go.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Do y'all share what y'all read or?
And it's interesting because it's like one, you get to see a different side of people, what they like to read,
What
but
they like.
also like this is something where it's actually working the muscle between your ears, which is the biggest muscle, the muscle that can't nobody take from
That's
you.
training discipline too, because that's
Absolutely.
something that we had to lock in for 30 minutes and like read.
Just 30 minutes.
We already did school, but this is outside of that.
Yeah.
And this is for
Yeah.
you.
Training that
And this is
mind.
for you. You can read whatever you want.
Mhm.
And reading is
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So-
interesting.
So, what are some of the other things that we could tie in priorities and with everyday life and with sports? You know,
I think like adding on to that, like just with a simple thing like reading, like we just said, that's
action.
something.
That's putting that action behind it.
It's an action, but it's also like a lot of these athletes that we have, whether it be middle school or high school, a lot of them think that the only way that they can get to where they want to be is through sports. So a lot of them are like, okay, like I'm gonna go to the NBA, I'm gonna go to the WNBA, I'm gonna go to the NFL. But like, it's not saying you can't do that. However, that doesn't last forever, even if you do that.
yeah.
So what is like your ultimate goal? What is your purpose? Like, what do you want to actually do with your life beyond sports? Because you playing sports won't last forever.
But you can coach sports.
You
I mean, I
definitely
want to
can.
be in sports forever.
No, yeah, you can be in it.
You can do whatever you want, you know, and be good at it.
Mhm.
You know, what are some of the things that athletes don't do, you know, to be successful in high school, or middle school, high school, college? What are some of the things, because they choose not to do them priorities, what are some of the things that you feel like is a setback to where our community, our young people could learn from and try not to mimic?
Ooh, that's a good one. I got a couple.
Oh, I'm gonna let you touch on that because I'm like, I just think that they not using their resources
That's
like
what I was-
around, like literally.
But I was going to say part of that is like environment. Like if your environment is showing you like this is cool, this is okay, this is normalized, that's what they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? And like just like we were saying, like if you're whatever environment you're in, whether it's positive or negative, you're going to be the environment. So I think it's like first identifying, is this the environment I need to be in if this is where I want to go? And if it is, cool. But if it's not, you have to figure out, granted, people are young, but you still have to figure out if this is the environment that I can be in to thrive or get to where I need to.
How does a kid know that? Like, I think my environment is good because it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm having fun over here. You can't tell me that is going to be better.
But that's why I think, like, when we talk about, like, mentorship and, like,
Role
communities,
models.
that stuff is so important because if you, it's kind of like this, right? You see somebody that
Struggling.
yes, or you see somebody that you know you want to be like, you're going to start to mimic the things that they do. So if I see, like for me, it was my high school coach in high school. My high school coach was Rashida Muhammad. Rashida Muhammad, she went to college and played basketball. She came back. I know I didn't want to be no nurse practitioner. She was a nurse practitioner. She was coaching basketball. She was doing all these things. But I knew that I wanted to be like her.
Doing a lot.
My
Yeah.
surroundings and my
Because
community.
of how she was being,
Yes,
how
and my
who she was.
and my surroundings, they didn't match what she was doing. So I surrounded myself
So
with
how
her.
did you choose to walk away?
Wait.
Because a lot of them
Yeah.
was your friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you choose to walk away
Yeah.
to get to where you are now?
That's
Because-
That's a good
I
question.
was I was
Yeah.
reminded all the time. It's lonely at the top. It's lonely at the top.
Wow.
It's going to take a lot to get to
This
the
is
top.
by your parents?
This was by coaches, by
Oh,
like
okay.
it's lonely at the top. So like it's sometimes I can't be with the crowd. I can't be with everybody because I don't want to be like
So
everybody.
did you get? I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
Did you get teased?
Oh,
and-
100%.
and-
Oh, I got
And how
yes.
did you respond to the teasing?
I'm kind of factoring off that too because my question too, you can answer them both together. Is how did you back away? Like people are wanting to glue to you because you they friend. We've been doing this. If I come over here, you not stiff arming me. You know, like what is you doing to distance yourself from that person?
So yeah, we're gonna get gym a little bit. Nah, but I think no, that's a great question. One thing that I did was like I just always I was very tunnel vision in high school because like upbringing wasn't the best, but I had a lot of role models in basketball that helped me. So one thing that I did that I didn't mind doing was staying where I needed to be at for me to get to my goals. So if that's I got to be in the gym on a Friday night when a football game going on, I'm gonna be in the gym on a Friday
Wow.
night.
So
with
that's
football
how
games
you
going on.
avoided being with that crowd.
Because a lot of times it's like, granted, I'm gonna see you guys at school. You guys might be teammates, cool, but like I know what my goal is, and I got talked about for it. It's like I didn't got called too positive. Like I didn't, and I've gotten, you know what I'm saying, I've gotten talked about for it. But the thing is, again, it's lonely at the top. If I know where I'm striving to be, and this is a proven process for somebody else, I wouldn't be wise to not follow it.
So was you saying that to yourself? It's lonely at the top? When,
You
know,
kept saying that.
I had to.
You know, my friends
And what-
ain't my friends no more. Or
Your friend. What? How old were you though? Like
This
what
was
grade
like
was you in?
this when I realized Rashida Muhammad had a conversation with me when I was a sophomore in high school, and she looked at me in my face and said, "Destiny, do you want to go to college and play basketball?" I said, "I don't know if I can." And she was like, "Well, do you think that that's something you could do?" And I said, "I think it is. I didn't have the people around me telling me like, hey, you can really do this." And I was like, I don't know. Like she said, "Well, I'm telling you right now, if you take this serious, you can go play basketball in college. But I also need you to understand something. I believe in you." And that was the first time anybody in my life has ever told me that they believe in me. So when she said that to me my sophomore year, I was like, "Nah, I'm about to stay in the gym because I have somebody here that believes in me."
So that made you change your priorities.
And that literally alone, I don't really care about no football games.
So let me ask you a question. Did you give that advice to others to where that could help somebody else get where you were?
I definitely did not do that in the moment. I think when I was in high school, I didn't talk to nobody about like how, because I had so many things that I was dealing with that I didn't even
Understandable.
understand like that's what that was
Yeah.
until really I came back from college. Like there's so many things hitting me now that I'm back from college because I'm just like, without these conversations or these people, I probably wouldn't be here.
So some of the conversations we've been having
Yeah.
off the set has been nothing but positive and about priority.
Absolutely.
You know, making sure we're doing our priority
Yeah.
to help our young people.
100%.
And we have to continue that conversation on and off the
course.
set.
The same.
You know, because like
Of course.
all of us work with young people.
Yeah.
All of us, you know,
Yeah.
have to make sure we have our priorities set.
100%.
You know, and sometimes we overdo our priorities. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, so
So
we
we
have-
overextend ourselves.
we very much overextend ourselves.
That's us just wanting to be, a steward in the community. So I love
But
it.
that's huge though too, because that's something we were talking about the other day. Like he was like, "Hey, you young, don't burn out, don't burn out." Like you can't, because I was just like, "No, Mr. Ayers, we could do this. Wait, let's schedule this." And you like, "No, we're not doing that. Actually, we're gonna do that next week at the time we said we was gonna do it." I'm like, "But like we both got time earlier." No, because you're gonna burn out.
Yeah.
And I thought about that. And I'm like, you know what, Mr. Ayers, he on to
His
something right now.
priorities was different.
His priorities.
Don't believe that? No.
But no, I think that's a huge thing too. Like
Yeah,
children are gonna
yeah.
mimic what they see. So
Yeah.
if we ain't prioritizing, they're not gonna be.
And what you just said right there, when you go into a new environment and you giving out priorities, they looking at you like you the nastiest, meanest person.
It sound like a rule.
It is a rule.
Yeah, I don't want rules. I'm a kid.
And you know what? And that's
We-
too bad.
We going to the other team over there. We don't want to play VR no more.
It's only gonna do a disservice to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life, you gotta prioritize. I'm learning that basketball taught me how to prioritize. I didn't know how to prioritize. If I ain't have basketball, I don't think I would know how to prioritize.
Yeah.
It taught me like what's important. I know I gotta get up early, so that means I gotta go to sleep early. I know I gotta
Because I'm going to be tired.
I gotta perform at the highest level I can, so I know I gotta eat right. Instead of going to pick up that bag of chips, I'm gonna go get that apple. Like it's little things like
and
that.
I was eating them hot Cheetos back then. I
them
don't know.
hot Cheetos still be good too. That's why
No, I
but
gave them up.
you gotta, but priorities.
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 Prioritize your health. That's going to get you to the next level too.
So you out there in the audience, what is your priorities? What do you want to give, and what you want to bring to the table to help somebody help?
I'm challenging you to write down your top 3 priorities and hold yourself accountable for a week. See, are you following those? Are you actually putting those first? That's something that I believe that you can do to just start looking into your priorities.
100%, and they don't have to be something that's like you ain't gonna change your life by tomorrow. But like you can pick small things to do first. Lock in for a week, see if you can do it. If it works out,
Just think of it as replacing this with that. Not saying that you can't do it no more. You can do it later, but I'm replacing this time that I was doing this for this long with that. you know.
That's a big one. That actually helped me. I know over spring break, I realized I was scrolling on my phone a lot.
That's scrolling.
Instead of scrolling on my phone, I said, for the time that I normally scroll on my phone, I'm gonna just read a book. And again, like replacing helped me prioritize like something that was important to me. So
That's what's up.
And you're gonna make mistakes, so don't do the priorities. And as soon as you make a mistake, you're gonna be like, I'm done.
yeah, I'm done. I
Yeah.
can't. Ain't no restarting.
Yeah.
That's
So-
that holding yourself accountable.
Hold yourself accountable.
Like, yeah, I messed up here, but how am I going to reset? Make that new plan. You
It's
know,
okay to make mistakes. You know, that's where you learn from. Come back next week and throw us a shout out about what you thought about the priorities and what you gained from the conversation that we had, you know, with the priorities.
yeah,
So
definitely something to look into. Yep.
Absolutely.
So before we go,
Mm-hmm.
what do priority mean to you guys?
Priority means putting something that is needed to be put ahead versus something that you want to particularly do.
That's deep. That's deep.
That's deep.
That's what's up. Ooh. Ooh, that was deep. I think this stage of life that I'm in right now,
Okay.
after being in college and playing basketball my whole life and then not playing basketball anymore, and it's kind of, I think prioritizing to me is
Your priorities shift.
yeah, they shifted big time. And I think priorities to me now at this point is I think it's putting things in your schedule that allow you to be the best version of yourself so you can give to others the best way that you can. So for me, like, priorities are making sure I got my stuff straight. And I think every time I have myself together, everything else falls in place.
Yeah, you can't help nobody else if you hurting.
So, okay.
Yeah. Then again, you can. So
Okay, let's hear your priority
no, I'm
version.
saying sometimes when you go through some things and your priorities get twisted,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got to readjust.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really start all over again.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to make new priorities.
Yeah, reshape that list.
To reshape it.
Yep.
You know, that's good. Thanks for helping. But, you know, I just think you have to put priority in line. You know, you got to have God in the front foremost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to have your family. You know, you got to have your community around you. You know, and then we all got to work together. You know, we got to follow God's lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and make sure our family is doing the thing they're supposed to do, so it won't hinder you or stress you out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then help the community to get better. You know, because a lot of times our youth are not getting taught priority. You know, they just getting pushed out and go do what you do.
Yeah, make it.
You know, so you know, I just think we just sometimes have to readjust our priorities and you know, just live from good things and bad things. You know?
Yeah.
But I just want to say this, you know, before we get off the air.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going nowhere.
Okay.
No. I'm coming back to you.
Okay.
I just like you know, we like I said, we deal with a lot of young people,
Mm-hmm.
and when we put our priorities on our young people, I think we need to teach them. You know, because
Explain.
The why behind it.
When you say,
So-
I'm saying explain because you said when we put our priorities on them.
how we want them to be,
Mm.
and they
Expectation.
cannot
Yeah.
the expectation of us
Yeah.
to
To
them.
them.
They can't respond to it.
Yeah.
You know, or they don't want to put the effort to it.
Yeah.
And then we like the majority of the time we kind of give up. Like, okay, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Who up next?
That's what
Yeah.
you be saying. Look, that's your favorite line. I'm
I
done
think-
over
yeah.
here.
No,
I mean,
I think it's important to teach them the why behind it. Like, I think a lot of times, like, children are curious, and sometimes, like, adults just be like, do this because I say do it.
Yeah.
But, like, not like, you're doing this
Explain.
because of this.
yeah.
I think if we do a better job of being like, okay, we're doing this because of this,
and this is gonna help.
it
with
could
this.
be received a little bit better.
So like she said, how I do it,
Mhm.
I'm old school,
Oh, see,
and that is so hard.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is.
It's really
Because you
hard.
feel like you gotta explain.
that's good
yourself.
that you saying
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that it was hard. Yeah, I know you old school, but I didn't know that it was hard for old school people to perceive it a different way. Like,
Mhm.
Man, we know the right way,
okay,
and when you don't follow it,
then you just feel like,
Yeah.
why you ain't listening?
you
But that
disrespect
only
it.
gonna cause them to rebel against the situation.
So
like,
I seen it, and not intentionally,
mhm.
because you always want when you molding young people,
Mhm.
you want them to stay the course,
For sure.
and because it's gonna be rough times.
Yeah.
And as soon as the rough
This
times,
you could have avoided that.
huh?
You could have avoided that by just listening to my plan. Is what you telling them? Like you
No,
could.
I mean it goes both ways.
Okay.
No, because mine is not perfect, and
Mhm.
mine is not correct all the time.
Okay.
So
It's just a better suggestion.
I have to be more settled, more understanding
Mm-hmm.
as an older person
Okay.
to you guys, not to you guys, but to our younger.
No, to us, we young.
y'all don't count.
Okay.
Y'all go ham on y'all. But to the younger ones,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got to let them express themselves
Mm-hmm.
and not get offended.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times, as older ones,
It could come off as disrespectful. That's
Yeah.
what you
it
think.
does,
That's
and,
why
but
you
it's
like-
really not.
Okay.
Because they don't know better.
I'm glad you're
and-
sharing that, man.
Yeah, because they don't know better. What you say?
I said I'm glad you're sharing that. Why y'all laughing? That's a good statement because there's
Nah,
other coaches
I
out
think,
there.
but
like
I think that too, 'cause especially like you kind of said with your generation, like that's what it is. Like, and a lot of times it could be looked at as disrespect,
Yeah.
but part of it is like the conditioning. What have they been exposed to? What have they been conditioned to know as respect,
Yeah.
or what disrespect is?
Being taught it? Yeah.
So
I mean, that's deep, you know, at this latest stage of our conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but it's needed,
Yeah.
absolutely,
you know, and parents need to understand we need their back, you know, when we're doing what we're doing,
Correct.
to come on side of us and say, we're doing this to make you a better person.
absolutely.
And
That buy-in.
yeah, the buy-in.
Yeah,
Great
from the
way
parent.
of saying it.
Definitely.
Say, listen, so I'm going to go around the room real
Okay,
quick
yeah,
so
yeah.
you can get your in.
Oh man, I just want to give a huge shout out to the little ballers at the McMillan Center. We had
Aw.
the 4-year-olds to the 6-year-olds coming out learning just how to dribble, jump. Some of them started, they couldn't even dribble. And I was just so proud in the end. We gave them little medals yesterday and their little certificates. And they were just so excited. A few of them came up to me and was like, thanks, Coach Tay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it just,
yeah.
it made me happy. It kind of warmed my heart to see that we were changing kids so young. So Tone and Jello, I want to give you guys a shout out for putting that on and let me be a part of it. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Miss J.
Hey, I'm just grateful. I'm blessed to be here. It's Thursday. It's almost Friday. I done had a long week. I done had a lot of basketball this week, but I'm just happy with what the future holds. That's what I'm gonna say. It's a lot of things happening on the girls' side. I don't know too much about the guys' side, but I know with the girls' side of basketball in Fort Wayne, we striving to change some things and also build a community and culture. So just be on the lookout.
It's striving on both sides. I would say that. I'm gonna leave this on the table. We have to do better and be better with each other. You know, as a community, you know, and as leaders.
100%.
You know, I love the way you guys come in and just do your thing with our kids. It's a beautiful thing, and they respect you. Last night when we walked out the gym, you should have seen the gleam in the young people's eyes, you know, when they left out.
Oh, that's what's up.
And we don't look at it like that,
Yeah.
you know. So thank you for allowing us to be a part of your kids' lives and in the community, to trust in us that we do get out there and we are, you know, humble and do the best we can. So after saying all that, we always leave out and we always say, always protect your mind.
Always.
Welcome to Respect Again
Podcast. Let's go get it.
Tune in.